All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It's Sunday. That means slow down Sunday here in the cave. We're slowing it down so much that we're putting out an episode late today. Maybe it's the time change, but in any event, if you've been following my page, lots going on over at therockcave.com. Thanks to my brother Michael. I'm thinking about maybe having him on to just talk through what all those changes are, but check it out today. It's all revamped, all new. It's got all kinds of cool features. It's got a discussion area called the Mosh Pit. It's got a place for pictures. I put a bunch of pictures of everyone in their Rock Cave t-shirts on there. Again, the discussion page, it's got all the episodes. You can click right on. It's searchable. You can search whatever artist and find them right there. It's really, really cool. You need to check it out. There's a mobile app. There's an app for the Rock Cave. For Apple, it's not quite out yet, but for Android, it's already there. So check that out and tell me what you think. But it's really fun to check it out. And Michael put in hours and hours and hours of work, so I appreciate him so much for doing that. But it is a really cool site. I think what we're going to do is we're going to play around with posting the video from therockcave.com versus YouTube. I know that changes things on Facebook, where it takes you to another website. So we'll see what people think about that and see if you're all right with that, and just, we'll see. But it's pretty cool. So what are we talking about today on Slowdown Sunday? You already know because you read it, but we're talking about the Dream Academy. Who remembers that band from 1985? They were formed in 1983, but you remember the song we're going to talk about from 85. British band, vocalist, guitarist, writer, Nick Laird-Close, Kate St. John on piano and woodwinds, and keyboardist Gilbert Gabriel. And their goal was to try to make synthesizer music, but incorporate woodwinds and stringed instruments, which wasn't really happening when they were formed in 1983. They were trying to figure out how to mix those things together. 2 years shopping around the demos. Nobody, rejection after rejection after rejection after 2 years. And then finally it wasn't a small label that picked them up. It was Warner Brothers who gets them in 1985. So that was interesting. But one of the connections, I don't know if it had anything to do with anything, but turns out Nick, the singer, was friends with someone by the name of David Gilmour. I know, let that sink in for a minute. David Gilmour, yes, that David Gilmour from Pink Floyd. He would go on to produce their debut record and one of their other records. They made 3 records in total. He wrote a song for them, and he was definitely involved with some of these sound effects in the background. So that's a pretty cool connection there. They put out their debut album September 16th, 1985, and that's where they have their one and only really huge hit. Life in a Northern Town goes to number 7 in the United States. The song is about the collapse of the shipping industry in the UK, but it's dedicated to singer Nick Drake, who died in 1974, a kind of obscure UK singer, but he a little more popularity after his death. But that's where that came along. And one of the things I read said that he's actually playing the guitar that's on the cover of one of Nick Drake's albums for this record. So in any event, he also had a mentor. This guy was connected. His mentor, Paul Simon, yes, that Paul Simon, helped coach him through the name of this song. He said, well, what are you going to call it? And he's like, well, we're thinking about calling it and hey ma ma ma. And he's like, no, that's not going to work. And he's like, well, how about No Morning Lasted All Day or something like that? And he was like, no. And he was like, Life in a Northern Town? Yes, that's it. So this song came out, and this is a great song. And of course, if you're living in a northern town when it came out, like us in New England, even better. It's just so, the Dream Academy is so dreamy in the beginning. You got the wind going through there. You got the dreamy vocals. You got the oboe playing. Who doesn't love a good oboe and synthesizer music? This basically is what they wanted to do. The chorus. The reference to JFK and the Beatles with the crowd cheering in the background when they says the Beatles. I'm guessing that David Gilmour had something to do with the background stuff because he's credited for doing some of the stuff, taping and some of the stuff in the background. But boy, this is a great song, and I just, again, fall in New England. It'd be on the radio. You're driving around in a New England northern town, and it's just so good. And you forget about this song Dwight, we were talking about this some 6 months ago or so. So that is your song of the day. It's the Dream Academy. Of note of their other songs, by the way, they did a instrumental cover of the Smiths' Please, Please, Please Let Me Get What I Want. And that is what's featured in Ferris Bueller's Day Off during that famous museum scene where they're all contemplating life. So there you go. So the Dream Academy, 1985, Life in a Northern Town, wherever town you're in. I hope you're enjoying music. Have a good one. And as usual, catch you on the flip side.